Everybody just don't be fucking assholes. That's all I'm saying. Many people are speculating on the announcement this week.
Right.
It seems I haven't felt this way in some time. A lot of people seem to think Walt is leaving the show. Or the next big theory is that Ming is joining the show.
Two announcements. Well, we would have to say something if Walt was leaving, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think if Ming was joining the show, we'd have to announce anything. He's here every week. It's hard to keep him away from the goddamn podcasting mic.
Especially the last couple of days, Walt said that he hasn't been potting and he's looking down, and I saw him peeking through the door a couple times earlier. You guys need help? I could do anything. But no, I will be taking a sabbatical of sorts. A 1 month leave of absence. Can you call it that?
You can call it that.
Mm-hmm. As many people know, I've had an ongoing knee issue, and I've recently acquired health insurance, which will kick in soon, and I will be getting it looked at. I'm hoping it's not a full knee replacement.
Right.
The person I talked to said they may inject silicone, I guess, because that's the big problem. It's like bone-on-bone type shit.
Right.
No synovial fluid or cartilage or whatever the fuck. So it constantly hurts. But prior to doing that, I'm going to go to Los Angeles and go through a detox program of sorts, because for the past, and I've mentioned it on the show before, prescribed oxy, oxycodone, for the pain. And if you know anything about it, it's addictive, and it's not like aspirin. You don't take it and then walk away from it, So the doctor that I go to, it was probably 6 months ago. He told me, for some reason he brought it up. He was like, you're physically addicted to this stuff now because it's the nature of the medication, and you're going to have a tough time, getting off it. You can't really go cold turkey. In fact, last time I went, he talked about starting to taper down and little by little and wean you off. But when I talked to you guys about it and I told Walt, and Walt became concerned about more of my mental state, which I think he's seen a change in. And I agree. That was actually one of the reasons I spearheaded trying to, or starting to get off this shit, is because I do feel like my mental state for some time is just different, I don't feel like myself a lot. And sometimes I told you when we were on the phone, I was like, sometimes when you guys are talking, it's almost like a feeling like I'm outside myself.
Right.
And I'm listening to you guys, but not like adding anything, and it's like a weird sort of disembodied feeling. And I think it also comes into play as far as like ambition and wanting to do stuff, and it just got to the point where it was making me not want to do anything at all, sit around. And it's like at one point, like when I first started taking it, I really was like, why don't they give this to people for depression? Because, oh my God, do I feel good. And as everyone knows, in time you need more to get that same feeling, blah, blah, blah. But I was never able to take a whole bunch because I don't have the tolerance. It gets me sick, And right now it's like no matter what my prescription is, then my knee still hurts. And I'm sure part of that is due to the weight and all that shit. Maybe a large part, I don't know. So I talked to Walt about it, talked to you about it, talked to Kevin about it. So I'm going to go out to LA for the month, go to a detox center for part of that time where they'll like bring you off it. And then I can start like exercising and, getting the knee looked at, because if we do a second season of the show, I don't really want to be gimping around again.
Right.
There were times when we were doing the show this year, and it's like after standing on it for 6 hours a day, I would go home at 6 o'clock and I would just lay down because it just fucking hurts so much. And I guess this is the only way to go about it. Just totally get off it. And it's weird. I thought that in the beginning, when I just took the, like at first I was on 5 milligram Percocets, and then it goes up, and then it goes up. And then, but I always thought, I have pretty strong willpower. I don't need to worry about the addiction thing. And that's for other people to worry about. But it definitely is something that I guess you can't control by sheer will alone. And you hear it time and time again from people, like normal people. Like my mom worked with somebody who she went in for a back operation, and they gave her Percocet for her back, and she was down and out for a couple months because, she was, after the operation, she was healing. And in that time, she gets addicted to it, and then she starts taking it from the hospital. And they found out, I guess, and they sent her to a rehab and all that shit. So that's what I will be doing for the next one. That's the big announcement. I'm sorry that it's not something that people can, because they're like, is there a Space Monkeys tour? Are you guys going to, there was a couple other ones that people were very excited about shit that I knew wasn't going to happen.
Right.
Basically, yes, I'm taking a month off. That's the big announcement. The place that I'm going to go is very close to where Kevin lives. So he's going to come, and we're going to go for walks and shit like that. So
nice.
Losing weight. Because, I was thinking about it recently, and it's the reason that I brought it up to you guys, is like how little I do now, how unproductive I am now. And, I had a feeling that part of it was due to that medication, and part of it's, due to like, well, if my knee's fucked up, I can't exercise. I stay fat, blah, blah, blah. And when I come back, exercise and do the comic and get the fucking puppet show out. I'm going to do everything within the first week, probably. Get the, no, because I hate, like, I do hate it. I hate not being productive. I used to do a lot of shit, and, there's very little satisfaction in sitting around doing nothing and having people annoyed, rightfully annoyed, but annoyed at you, and you're just like, I don't know how to get out of this.
Right.
So I guess the way to get out of it is just to get out of it.
That's it, man. Put a pause on things and go take care of business.
Yeah. And it's not like, it's definitely not a, well, where'd my TV go kind of thing if I come over and visit you. But I didn't want it to get to that point. So I wanted to, stop it right now and just fucking try to take care of the knee. And that, the health insurance was a big thing. Without fucking health insurance, forget it. You can't do anything.
Right.
Doctor tell me the knee replacement, a minimum of $30,000.
Holy shit.
And that's after you go and get your MRI for $4,000, and you got to do this for a couple thousand, that for a couple thousand. And paying out of pocket is...
It's impossible.
Yeah, you can't do it. I'm hoping that this is like I look at it sort of like a reboot,
Yeah.
And, just get the system totally cleaned out. Don't have to think about that shit anymore. Go get the knee looked at. If I need an operation, fine. If I don't, fine. Whatever it's going to take is, I guess, what I'll do.
Right.
But that's the next 4 weeks are going to be Bry free.
Of this show.
This show, yeah.
Right.
All shows, I'm assuming. unless I get pulled out for a Smodcast or something while I'm there. But I guess it's late April, early May.
Right.
I think people can look forward to the Space Monkey show at the Smodcast Theater.
Because it's positive. When we do the shows, like, it's a positive thing. Like, you and I, when we went to England and did the Space Monkeys tour, like... that last night of travel aside, like, it was just a very positive experience. Like, we loved it. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing them, and I know you do. And I was like, all right, well, this is something, kind of like a celebration just between the two of us. Not even like with the audience to be like, hey, he's out, everybody, let's get together. It's just like, you're out and right away, boom, you're productive and doing something. You know what I mean? Like, just get the ball rolling. And
I think that's important too. Like, that's the one thing I have to do is, like, once I have this reboot, it's like I need a schedule. I need a schedule because that open-ended free time doesn't work.
Yes.
I just end up wasting a lot of it. And I
most people call that a job.
Nah, well, that's like I get carried away. One step at a time.
Right. Baby steps. I got you.
Well, the other thing was, I find a lot with Sage. I can't, we have I built sort of like a sand box area for her in the back.
Right.
And she wants me to come out and play with her. And like, first it takes me 30 seconds to get down to the point where, I can sit down, and that takes another 30 seconds to get up. But at the same time, it's like I got to sit with my legs stretched out because it constantly hurts. And
Right.
it's just, it's been, the quality of life is, because of that, has been so fucking low and annoying that it depresses you. And you're just like, fuck, man. Like, I'm just tired of living like this. And I got to the point, like I said, 2 weeks ago, whatever, I was just like, I seriously cannot deal with this anymore. So I'm going to have to make some sort of change. And it just happened to coincide with, the insurance kicking in and all that other shit. So
Right.
I figure now is the time to
Well, it's great, man. It's
start
like,
actually doing something.
it's extreme. Like, it's an extreme move on your part. But I think you're at the point where it's just like only extreme moves will serve to get this ball rolling in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a positive mood, man. I mean, I don't think I'm not looking forward to the fucking comments about Bry's not on the show. It sucks.
I don't know. I saw the circus show. Somebody said, "Oh, it's the best episode ever." I was like, "I'm not going anywhere."
God, that's not. Some people will.
I did. I saw that one. Did you see what I tweeted back?
Yeah, I know. You sort of took his side. Somebody was like, "Tell him Steve Dave is crap without Brian." I'm like,
Yeah. I wrote, "Let's hear the man out." #Ministers of Truth.
which is like, listen, we could stop the show for 4 weeks, right? We could not do it. Sure, Walt would not have a problem with it.
It's like I'm going with him.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, whatever. It's like, I would, we could stop it, but like, we're not going to. We want to keep it going.
Yeah,
So
just
fucking please, people. Just curb the fuck of this show sucks without Brian nonsense. Because I'm on the edge. I'm not fucking.
That's true. Yeah,
You don't have to look, though.
What?
You don't have to look.
No, but there's a lot of like look at what
You should
like
be able
Twitter?
to go to your own Twitter page.
Yeah,
and
like
not have to.
there's a lot of positive interaction with people on there.
Yeah, but you don't have to look though, and you'll just assume it's all positive.
So just bury my head in the sand and not worry about it. I don't
That's
know.
what I'm doing.
Well, that's fine. That works for you. But it's like I like interacting with our audience. Like
Only if they're like, it's awesome.
It's awesome without Brian.
no, I mean, I think it's fucking no. Like a lot of like all that.
Basically, you're setting it up, or you don't want to hear anything but positive.
I didn't say that. I said I don't want to hear.
Well, I think you're like, we could have just skipped the week. But instead, the circus show
Right.
could have been like, fuck it, Brian's not here, we won't do the show. But instead, you're like, you know what? Hey, let's go do the show
did it
anyway.
because the fucking circus guys were only here that one day.
But I'm saying you could have if you really wanted to. I mean, there was one time when Walt didn't do the show and you and I did it. Oh, fuck you, the show sucks without Walt.
Right.
And again, it's just like, well, we could have done nothing, or it's there if you want it.
Right.
But this fucking prick was like, I'm tricked into a download.
Yeah, and it's not like a cry for like only positive comments, because how long did I deal with the fuck? Still to this day, I get like 40% less Quinn, 40%. Like stuff like that. I don't care about. To me, that's like almost within the language of the show. That type of ball busting.
I would rather hear the truth though than just hear like, oh, it's awesome.
But there's nothing constructive about the show is shit without Bry, because there's nothing like, well, what was it that made it so unenjoyable for you? You can at least, I didn't like when Bry wasn't there because blah blah blah.
Okay.
Well, so see, people did say that. People
really?
say, "Hey, I like the show, but the show really could have used like Bry's wit." Somebody said that. Other people said, "I would." Yeah, it was Susie Lowe's TST. No, another person said something like, "Why did Brian have to miss this episode? I would have loved to hear what he had to say." And to me, that's just like.
That's too much?
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
That's great. To me, that is expressing the same thing that.
And it's not like you guys said, "Hey, stay home." I had a fucking stomach virus.
Right.
There's no way you would have wanted me here.
But like that
Sit
guy,
on one of those potty chairs.
the guy who's like the show's shit without Brian. You're expressing the same thing. You're just doing it in a little fucking better way that I don't have to fucking.
Tact.
A little tact, people. Or don't give me tact.
You've earned it. You've earned the tact.
I don't care. You know what? Don't give me tact if you don't want to give me tact. But like, just send some.